Hi guys, welcome back to FM Live. My name is Nick Krause, and today we're going to be talking about a simple product for all you track guys out there, tow hooks. So, if you guys have any questions or comments during the video, please leave them below, and we will try to get to them during the video. If we don't get to them during the video here, we will get to them after the fact. Thank you guys for watching. So today, why might you need a tow hook? So if you happen to be doing track days, a lot of track organizations will require tow hooks for you to be on track in case you go off track and need to be towed back to the pits, whether that's for a breakdown or for a crash. So they are important for those of you out there that are taking part in track days. So to start with, we have tow hooks available for every generation of Miata. With the exception of the NB, we only have a front tow hook available for those. So to start with here, this will be the front tow hook for the NA and NB models. It'll work for all of those, and it basically replaces the little baby teeth there in the front grille and gives you a tow point. You can see we have one installed here on our Project Car Reggie. Just sticks out just enough to be useful for the event of an off-track excursion. It is kind of an off camber little bolt pattern there, so you don't want to do much more than pull directly fore and aft with it. If you have to tow too much to the side and put too much stress on it, it may bend the bracket a bit. So if you do wind up in a position where you need to use these, make sure you try to exercise a little restraint when pulling the car out. The rears don't show up very well on camera, so we'll just show the one here. Essentially, it'll bolt up on the back and kind of stick down just a little bit below the rear bumper for access at the back of the car. So these tow hooks here are for both the NC and the ND models. The shorter one here is going to be for the rear on the ND, whereas this one will work at the front and the back of the NC models. So you can see here, got the front tow hook here. It does clear the front bumper. And when you're not at the track, it can be useful to tighten up this screw here so it doesn't flap around in the breeze and kind of rub into the paint. When you get to a track day, it makes probably a little sense to loosen this up just a bit so that it has some motion for when you go to tow. And we'll follow around the back end here. And you can see kind of the same thing. So one of the common complaints we hear, more specifically with the NC and ND ones, the hooks, is that they're difficult to thread in when you go to install them. We found that over time, the threads in the bumper bar right there tend to get really dirty and can even start to surface rust over time. So they become very difficult to thread these tow hooks in. So this is an example of a stock tow hook that'll come on an NC. So the best way to take care of this here is to find a little bristle brush of some kind. We found a little battery terminal brush that actually did a pretty good job of this here. There's probably other tools out there that'll work, but something like this with bristles, especially metal bristles, will help to clean the surface rust or any grime, dirt, or debris out of those threads. So as much as you can, try to clean those threads before you go to install, and this will be for the NC and ND models. And once you've cleaned out those threads, the hook will thread in a lot more easily. Now, we know that sometimes these threads can be difficult to get access to when you're on the car. So we've also found that it makes it a little bit easier if you coat the threads on the tow hook with some kind of penetrating lubricant or oil of some kind, so like PB Blaster or WD-40. Anything to help lubricate those threads up just a little bit on top of cleaning the threads out will help you to install them and make that job a lot easier so you're not worried about cross-threading it in. So, as I said, I've got the front tow hook here for the NA and NBs. Got the rear for the NA only, and then these are the NC and ND models. So it came to our attention recently that Grassroots Motorsports did a comparison and a test actually of some kind of cheaper knockoff brand tow hooks. One of them in the video happened to look a lot like the ones that we sell here. These are different from that particular model in a couple of ways. They appear to be slightly thicker at the threads here, which will give them more strength if they have to be used for towing. And they also have an all-steel body, and the male thread is on the shaft here rather than on the hook end, which will also increase the strength. We've never really heard of any issues of these breaking off in the event of a tow, so it shouldn't be a problem when it's compared to those the ones that you see in the Grassroots Motorsports video. These look pretty similar, but again, they are different. So these are all four models here, the NA, NB, NC, and ND models, are all they all meet SCCA regulations for track use. So if you have a track organization that goes by SCCA rules, you should be good to go with any of these. The NA and NB models are built to SCCA specs with a 2-inch hole, front and rear, and they're made of 3/16 steel. I don't think there's much else to cover along those lines here. So again, these are most useful for people who are going through track days and need to pass tech for regulations on those track days there. If you have any questions or comments that we didn't get to here today, please feel free to comment below. Good. We have a question. What's the question? So the question was, how much street cred did these give you? So I suppose that's going to depend on the crowd of Miata fiends that you run around with. If no one else does track days and you do, definitely feel free to rock these and show off that you're taking part in some racing on the weekends. And if you want to let everybody else around you know what you're doing on the weekends, leave these installed during the day and drive around. Definitely gives you a little bit of a race car look to the Miata, especially with these fancy NC and ND ones. Any other questions? All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in today, and hopefully this answers everything that you needed to know about our tow hooks. If you enjoyed this video or learned anything new, we'd love to see it if you liked and subscribed to our channel below. We do new videos weekly, so please be sure to subscribe. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.